well versed in that area.
Here.
You guys want to start? Or you want to eat more pizza? We can just keep eating pizza all day long.
Can eat and start.
Listen, if they eating pizza while I'm talking, they're not going to be asking questions.
Well,
right.
That's true. It might be a good thing.
Might be a good thing. So let me introduce. John was nice enough to come up from Naples. He is the lead productivity coach down in the Naples Market Center, and John and I have known each other for what
28 years
Since '92.
Yeah, a long time. We both started our careers up in Massachusetts for a small company called Remax.
Oh, a small individual.
It was the only option back then.
It was the only option back then in Massachusetts. And then what happened from there is, just as you know, is we started masterminding together and formed a group of agents, of Remax agents throughout the state. One was called Remax All-Stars too, right? So we were
And it actually grew into, the organization is still in place.
Is it?
CyberPros.
Wow.
CyberPros grew up from when we started.
Fantastic.
Which is now about 500 agents worldwide.
Yeah. And then John, a lot of people don't know this. Well, who knows Brett?
Nobody would know it.
Anybody know Brett Ellis in this room for Fort Myers?
I do.
Everybody knows Brett Ellis. You should know Brett Ellis, the Ellis team. Anyways, John came down, how many years ago? 20 years ago?
21 years ago, yeah.
From Massachusetts and started working with the Ellis team, and then grew his own business from there, and you can take it from there.
Awesome.
Welcome, John.
Welcome. Okay.
Thanks, guys. So,
Isn't there a 9 missing? Shouldn't there be 199 things they do?
we only took 19 of them. There's actually a couple zeros missing, and they go right here.
There you go.
So, I appreciate you guys having me up here. Now, I want to just go around the room. Please don't expect me to remember your names, but I'd at least like to get your name and how long you've been in real estate for. All right.
Awesome.
Gianna.
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
My name's Gianna.
All right.
My name is John. I've been in real estate since August 7th. My mom's not here, but she's been in real estate for over a year now.
That's 2 weeks for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And I am taking off running, so.
Awesome. I got a laser pointer. Be careful. I just got it today. I'm very excited.
I'm Maggie Glucklick, and I signed on with Keller Williams October 1st. I had just gotten my license about 2 weeks prior.
Excellent. Excellent. What did you do before that?
T-shirt.
I did a lot of those. I've got 4 or 5 years that I'm going down in Naples. Not gonna point laser.
I'm Terry Barbie. I actually got started with Coldwell Banker about 20 years ago up in New York and dabbled there for about 3 or 4 years, gave it up. Just wasn't a good fit at the time. Got my license down here back in April, and I started with Keller Williamson, but I just moved down here full time, so I'm kind of brand spanking new, getting my feet wet.
Excellent.
Karen Brock, I started here a week ago.
There's the newest one right there. Norm.
I'm Norm.
I feel like you should be stepping up to a bar right now.
Cheers!
I've been in real estate since 2010, so about 9 years.
Excellent.
Cameron Pennell, I've been in real estate for 2 months.
Okay. Excellent.
Diana Reed, about 3 years.
Frank Bell, about 2 months.
Wonderful.
Francis Bell, originally licensed in '95.
Okay.
Worked in Jersey and Virginia and in the Keys. And then came to Keller Williams probably in, I think 2013, about 6 years ago.
Excellent.
Had a little hiatus, starting back up.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Drew, about 3 years.
Okay.
3 years.
Brett Bishop, 16 years.
John Meissner, 5 years.
Caitlin Shepard, going on 4 months now.
Excellent.
Tyler and just about a year.
Joey, about a month.
Okay.
Laurie Ann, 17 years.
Wonderful.
Amanda Bishop, I'm longer that guy. Started my real estate career here in our market center in 2010. And for those of you that did not hear, yes, our son's middle name is Keller for Keller Williams.
Awesome.
My name's Dennis, and I just passed my test about 2 hours ago.
Wonderful. And again, my name is Jon Mcleod. I'm the productivity coach in Naples. I started in this business in '91. And like Dave alluded to, I migrated south in '98 when the Ellises called me up and gave me a carrot that was too good to pass up. So I packed up my wife and 18-month-old twins and moved down here. In 2001, I received a phone call at 7:30 at night from a client on my kid's birthday on a Sunday night saying, we want to see this house right now, we're going to go find somebody else. And at this point in my career, I'd sold about 420 homes. But I didn't have control of my career. So the next morning, I quit. Because I wanted to see my kids grow up. I wanted to save my marriage. My kids grew up, I got remarried 4 years ago. And that is a joke, you're allowed to laugh. Okay? I get along great with my ex-wife. I accomplished one of the goals, which was to see my kids grow up. I took a 15-year hiatus in real estate. And we're going to talk a little bit during some of my personal experience along the way. I was a financial planner, owned a marketing company, and was also the salesman for Naples Daily News, handled all the major accounts, including all the real estate advertising for them when I was there. The information contained in here, if I had it back then, never would have gone anywhere. How many people in the room have read Millionaire Real Estate Agent?
I started to.
Okay,
I just
excellent.
got it.
Now, Donata, you did not introduce yourself. You weren't in the room, so.
I'm sorry. My name is Donata. I got my real estate license in 2005. I started working at Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
I wasn't happy there. So I got another job.
We're live, otherwise I'd comment.
Well, things happen in life, and
They do.
then I started with a Southern broker. Was with him for 12 years, and I just recently started with Keller Williams 4 months ago.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Is anyone that has read or is reading Millionaire Real Estate Agent made $1 million and kept $1 million in a year?
I want to get there.
Okay. So there's going to be something here for you. You're going to see an awful lot of things that should look familiar. It should sound familiar. So everyone's heard of Tony Robbins, right? Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to stand over here and read some of the stuff. So you all have heard success leaves clues, right? Failure leaves clues. Jim and I were talking about this earlier. Not only does the success leave clues, but failure leaves clues. If you want to succeed in this business, go find somebody doing what you want to do. And guess what? Do it. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's one thing that I learned the hard way numerous times is a wheel is perfectly round. You are not going to make it any rounder. It is not going to become more efficient. Don't try. You're wasting your time. Go pick up the wheel that you like with the person that's doing the business that you want to do and emulate them. There's not a person inside of Keller Williams that's doing what you want to do that is going to say, I don't have time to talk to you. That's the beauty of the culture of this company. If you found somebody that's doing what you want to do, say, hey, you're working this type of property or this type of buyer, this type of seller. You don't spend 5 hours a day calling expired or for sale by owners. How do you get your business? Talk to them. They'd be happy to share. One of the things that you'll learn is the more you talk about what you do and how you do it, the better you become. The more knowledge you pass off. So for you guys, the more knowledge you can receive, you're in turn helping the person that is helping you. All right. So, database. Everyone pull out their phone for me. I'm glad you got the book charger. This is awesome. Oh, I love this. And I love the smell of Sharpies, which is even better. All right. Somebody go to your contacts, scroll to the very bottom, and shout out the number of contacts you have.
We need to get it big.
First number wins a slice of pizza. Dave will get it for you. How many?
900?
In your phone.
Yeah, keep on going.
Yeah, hold on.
900 contacts.
I got 2,074.
Okay.
I still got more going here. Hang on.
2,000.
What am I
You
doing
should
wrong?
be retired in a couple years.
Where does it say how many you got?
What?
I have 79.
The very bottom.
Man.
1,134.
You should be
All right.
retired.
We're going to work off of 900 because she was the first one to shout out the
Oh my
number.
God, what does it say there?
All right. Who remembers the formula for the percentage of your contacts that will buy or sell in the next 12 months?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The percentage?
How many people in your database are guaranteed to buy or sell in the next 12 months?
20%.
That was 5%.
5%. Very good. So for all you number geeks in there, 5% equals how many? 45, right? 45 sales in the next 12 months coming from Rookie's database.
Rookie.
All right? You don't have to call a single expired, a single for sale by owner. If you're only marginally good and you get a quarter of those, you sell one home a month. When you're first starting out, is one home a month a pretty good number? Okay. So we have this wonderful software that people like to pick on called Command that is the most brilliant piece of software ever written for real estate. I know, Dave knows, because we were back in the day when we used ACT. You guys, what's ACT? You know, you're old like us.
It's a bug spray. Well, it's Axe.
Yeah, it was brutal making that work. And then we progressed to things like Agent 2000 and so forth, and Top Producer came along, and Top Producer is a dinosaur. The things that Command can do far exceed anything that's out there, and it's just the beginning. So your average price in this market?
285.
What is it?
285.
285?
Median
Okay,
price.
so at 3%, that's about $8,000, right?
Yep.
Times $8,000 commission. 8,000 times 45.
Pretty good money.
A lot.
A lot. You don't even want to do the math.
No.
Okay.
I will.
Do the math. It should come out to a really big number.
360,000.
Look at that.
Right?
360,000.
45.
360,000.
360?
Yep.
Yep. A year from now, you have $360,000 in your bank. What are you going to do?
Spend it.
Wrong answer.
Invest it.
What would you do
Put it in
1 year from now if you looked at your bank account and there was $360,000 in it?
I would buy some homes and start renting them out.
Okay.
some taxes.
Wonderful. So a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight is, with the successes that are coming, is just some ideas to do with them. You could go out and buy a Ferrari and then crash it 100 yards outside after you get it, and guess what? All that money is gone. All right? You go on a great vacation. Whatever you want to do with it it's your money. The very last thing we're going to talk about, probably have all heard about your big why. We're going to start thinking really deeply about that, because your big why is never about money. Ever.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Laser pointer on Dave. Perfect. So this graphic here, hopefully you guys can all see it, is straight out of Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's real simple. When you're building your database, it's the first rule. Have one. You have to have one. The days, dinosaur days with me and Dave where everything was on a Rolodex, those are gone, okay? Communicate with them. And there's a specific ways to communicate with people. You can communicate in social media. You can use Twitter. You can get in a lot of trouble with Twitter. You can say things that cause stock markets to crash on Twitter. So you be very careful about things that you put out that you cannot draw back. Provide service. You're not selling to people. Your 45 sales that are in there, if you call up all 900 people and say, would you buy or sell with me? Would you buy or sell with me? No. They won't. Provide service. Call them up and find out.
Lousy script, John.
I know, it's a lousy script. It's a lousy script. He does his script practice with all you at 8:30 in the morning. I saw that Zoom calls 8:30 in the morning. He should be on there. Knowing what to say and when, not memorizing it, but internalizing, knowing what to say and when is going to be the key to your success in these conversations. So you have a conversation with somebody and you ask them things about their family, their job, what they do for fun, what their dreams are in life. Is there anything that you can do to help them get there? Now, using that Ford principle, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, now they are going to in turn ask you, so, as a matter of fact, I'm still selling real estate after 19 years. I just got into real estate. I'm looking for help. Could you help me? It's a much easier conversation. They're going to be much more receptive to it. Lead generate daily. We're going to talk time blocking in a little bit, but Who has a specific, sorry, we're gonna talk time blocking in a little bit. And who, who has a specific window of time that every day they are doing the same lead generation activities? Wonderful. Wonderful.
Who with everybody will have, right?
Yeah, you need to, whether you are calling people for sale by owners and expireds, which is how I rebuilt my business when I got back in 2017, which is how I rebuilt my business, calling people, or you're building your database, or whatever you decide to do. You have to lead generate every day. Janet Falk, I don't know how many people know Janet Falk here. Janet would not leave her office until she had set an appointment every single day. Now, Amanda was at Mega Camp. Who else? Anyone else here at Mega Camp? Okay. How many listing appointments do you need a week in order to keep $1 million?
7.
Thank you. Janet was highly motivated. She was the second person in the United States to keep $1 million selling real estate. She was beat by one person by 2 months, and it still bothers her. What's the best way to build a database?
Yeah, contacts and.
Be more specific. How would you make the contacts?
By going out and meeting people, door knocking.
Okay, door knocking.
Phone calls.
All right.
Just talking about your business, I guess, through your everyday life.
How many people do open houses? Okay.
Well, I have one for Saturday.
Perfect. Do you have them sign in? Okay. Here's just an idea that's not even part of the program. Just try this for an idea. All of the information that you want them to have, all the information that they want to have, create a digital folder, whether it's on Dropbox, Google Drive, whatever. Tell them, you know what, real simple, I don't want to send you a whole bunch of information. I've got more information you could possibly want about this property and others. Let me just shoot you a text or an email with a link, and then you can download what you need. Well, guess what? You have their name, email, and phone number. You gave them the information that they want that no other agent did. And you have what you need, the way to keep in touch with them. What you gave them is the link to your KW app, branded to you. Download this app, everything you need to know. You gave them all the information you normally give them out of MLS, school systems, and so forth. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, once you put the digital folder on the KW, link to them?
I just send them a link to a Dropbox or a Google Drive. And then it has everything in there. It's usually a couple PDFs and a Word document with all the links that they're going to need. But the first one is the KW app. All right? Lead with revenue, not expenses. MREA page 4, right? I'm going to tell you now, don't get distracted by every real estate lead generation company calling up, offering to generate leads for you for a fee. Perfect. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. So Zillow's model, their fee structure works out to about 35% referral fee for the revenue that's generated. I know this because I'm a nut with numbers. When I first got back in, I was like, this is great. Zillow's going to send me leads. Awesome. I spent $12,000 with Zillow and made 50 grand directly from Zillow over the course of a year. Sounds like a reasonable return.
No.
Okay? Reasonable, not great, but reasonable. Well, what I found was it took 200 leads to get to the 8 deals. I had to show 30 people homes to get to the 8 deals. And I made more money if I was working at a grill at McDonald's flipping burgers for the same amount of time invested as I made processing Zillow leads. Had to find something different. So lead with revenue. Don't go out and spend $1,000 or $1,500 a month when you're first out. You don't have to spend money to make money. How much does your database cost you? Nothing. You know them. All right? That part's real simple. The shiny objects, we just talked about it. Everybody and their uncle has the next best way to generate leads. No, they don't. Your relationship is the best way to generate leads. All right? Especially if they really like you, they have friends. You know, you get the whole Fabergé organic effect. You know, they tell 2 friends and so on and so on. You remember. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to point out the age that much. There's no shortcut to success in this business either. all right? You have to get your jersey duty. The locker room, which is the coaching program that I use, and I also happen to be a sports fan. I use a lot of sports analogies, so you're gonna have to deal with it.
Go Pats!
We're gonna have. You can talk all you want. You can't argue though.
Yeah, I can't.
You can hate them, but you can't argue. Lead generate 2 to 3 hours every day. Again, success lead clues. Janet Falk makes $1 million 18 years ago selling real estate when prices weren't $300,000, and she was in a little area just outside of Charlotte. What did she do? She lead generated until she set an appointment, or she set an appointment in half an hour. It didn't count. She went and set another appointment. So minimum 2 to 3 hours a day. All right. Let's talk a little bit about what lead generation is going to do, who not to listen to. All right. Who has that family member, the Debbie Downer, that will always tell you you can't do that, that'll never work. Ignore them.
That's my sister's name.
Debbie
There she
Downer?
is.
It's my ex-wife's name.
Oh, God.
Avoid the roller coaster. So here we're going to go into the first principle of MREA. If you look at what it takes to get to a second level, all right, is you're hiring an assistant, right? So I'm going to give you these numbers I know off the top of my head because they're mine. A window where I made 3,331 dials. There's always that one. All right? Always that one. And this might even be a prime number. I haven't checked, but it's very possible. So here's a 2-month window. Made 3,331 dials. It took 5 hours and 47 minutes to set an appointment. Right? This is when I was comparing the difference between paying somebody to generate leads, generating them myself. My gross income was $50,000. Here's what I learned. Using already proven systems, I was using a dialer provided by Vulcan 7. I was dialing 70 dials per hour. Now, if you divide 50,000 by 331, you're going to get a number that looks like this. $15 and change every time I dial the phone, whether they answered or not, whether they liked me or not. Every time somebody told me to F off, I made $750 because I tracked that too. I want to see how cranky people are. And that's a real number. 1 out of every 50 dials, I was told F off. So that's just how it worked. I made $750 there. So, quick math, $15 an hour, 70 calls per hour. How much is that per hour?
How many calls per hour?
1050.
70 calls per hour. Yep. 1,050. You are good with numbers. So what happened here is my business exploded. What I didn't do is realize that my $1,050 an hour of lead generation time was well worth investing $25 an hour for a great admin. So I no longer had time to lead generate. I had to service the 15 or so listings that I got in that time frame. Real world story. This was 2 years ago. When you get to the second level, when you have so much business that you can no longer lead generate, you have to hire somebody. You have to, or your business is going to do this. You're going to go up, you're going to go down. You're going to go up, and you're going to go down. And at some point, you're going to get sick of going down. And you're like, I can't do this. So if you're in this business to develop a business, do it exactly what is written on the back of the wall there. When you get to the point of no longer being able to spend your 2 to 3 hours a day generating leads, you better go hire somebody. Virtual assistant, you can hire, there are people out there, contract people that will do all of your listing work for you, all of your contract to close work for you, take that off your plate, usually for $300 or $400 a transaction. That's way better when you know what your lead generation time is worth. So track your lead generation time, understand what your lead generation value is. Then you know when the right time to hire somebody is. Your breakdown, you're going to use 3 hours. First half hour, you're going to prep. You're going to go over your scripts, you're going to script practice. Absolutely script practice. I'll tell you, you have to have 5 script practice partners, 1 for each day of the week, and all in different marketplaces.
Say that again.
5 people, 1 a day to start your day, 15 minutes on the phone, and it's real simple. You don't call up and ask how the wife and kids are doing, or the dog, or anything else. You call up, that person is expecting your phone call. They're either going to be a for sale by owner or an expired or whatever you guys have planned for that week. They are that person that you're calling. So it's a live call. It gets reversed, done. No idle chit chat. You're there for one thing and one thing only. Can we find people, Rotary, we do that.
Well, Terry doesn't know yet. Terry doesn't know yet.
Oh, she's new. We'll let that go. So your 5 script partners, different areas of the country. All right? You're going to have different objections, different way to handle them. If you have the same script partner all the time, guess what? You're going to get the same conversation every single time. And you're like, this is silly. I'm not seeing anything different. I don't need to do this. How many people played sports growing up? One way or another. All right. Would you ever go out on the field of play without stretching and warming up?
No.
Why would you do that in your business?
Right?
See? It's the same thing. I mean, you can go and say, you know what, the first 15 minutes of my calling, that's my warm-up. Well, great. What if that first 15 minutes of the calling was that $2 million listing down on the sitting on the Gulf, and you fumbled because you weren't warm? Warm up every single day. You spend 2 hard hours of lead generation time. Your last half hour, you're wrapping things up. Handwritten notes to every contact you make. If you don't have their address, you text them or email them. All right? Who's got a good definition for a contact? Not Amanda.
No.
Because she knows the answer.
Anybody you have a real estate conversation with.
Perfect. Meaningful, 2-way conversation. Hi, this is Dave Heyer with Keller Williams. No thanks, Dave. Click. That's not a contact. Jump off a cliff, Dave. That's not a contact. Dave, thanks for your call. Really appreciate your time. However, we're not looking to do any business right now. Oh, great. Well, when would you? We don't know. Perfect. That you had a conversation. That counts. All right. Those are the people that you have to follow up with your last 30 minutes of your lead gen time. Now, your lead follow-up time, that's a whole different time block. All right. Well, this is pretty interesting. Find an accountability partner or a coach. Like I said, crazy sports analogies. How many professional athletes at the top of their game don't have a coach?
No one.
Has anyone ever heard Tiger Woods? What happened when he fired his coach?
Down to.
Yeah, where is he now? Right? He's got a coach again. All right. Every single mega agent that's out there has multiple coaches. Every CEO for every major company has multiple coaches and advisors. This business is no different. So find yourself a good partner or coach to be able to handle this stuff for you. They're going to look at things from a different angle than you are. And some of the conversations aren't going to be fun. No one succeeds alone. Does anyone know any self-made millionaire? Truly self-made? They had absolutely zero outside influence on their ability to earn $1 million. You win the lottery, guess what? There's another 500,000 people that put money into the pot in the same chance you did. So that doesn't count. All right? You've got a rich uncle who left money to you. Guess what? That doesn't count. There are no self-made people. All right? It takes a good group around you. I'm gonna let this slide just sit here for a minute on this one point on the lower left-hand side. You are the average of the 5 closest people in your life.
Think about that.
Think about that for just a minute.
Surround yourself by good people.
You are the average of the 5 closest people in your life.
Cool.
Now, you can have people in your life that you absolutely love and adore. but they may not be the best
Right.
people to be in that inner circle, that 5 closest people. All right? That is something that you should look at and say, do these people that are guiding me, mentoring me, coaching me, leading me, on the same page as I want to be on? If that answer is yes,
These kids are all
awesome. I can't say anything about Jim, he owns the place. So, constantly look at that 5. Right now, I don't have 5. I have 2.
Wow.
Because I've made the conscious decision to start moving things around a little bit. So I'm looking for replacements. All right, so standards and systems. Whatever you decide to set for your standards, set them and leave them there. Don't move them. So for me, a contact is a meaningful 2-way conversation. A lead is somebody who has identified that they are going to do business within a certain time frame. And for me, it's 12 months or less for a serious lead. An A lead I define as somebody that's 0 to 60 days, a B 60 to 180, and a C 180 to 1 year. Some people will tell you to go out to a year and a half. That's okay. Whatever you do, whatever you set for your standard, don't ever deviate it, because all of your numbers that you're going to be tracking are based on those standards. As soon as you change your standard around, all of your data is worthless. So set your standards and stick with it. Now this is really small, and me with my really awesome eyes, I get to stand here and read off of a computer screen. You teach people how to treat you. We've all heard that, right? How many of you take calls from buyers and sellers at 9 o'clock at night? Be honest.
Sometimes.
Be honest. Yeah, Dave, I was gonna ask if you were gonna adjust that. I don't want to actually call you out on it.
Well, it's on a timer.
Yeah, I know. It went up to 80.
Yeah.
And wearing a jacket, it feels like
Yeah, right.
97.
I can feel the heat coming off you.
I mean, if the phone rings and I recognize the number, I pick it up.
Okay. So somebody calls you up at 9 o'clock at night, and it's a business matter. Can you solve that problem at 9 o'clock at night?
No, what I tell them is I'll call you back in the morning with
Okay.
because I don't have the computer in front of me, obviously. I just tell them I'll call back in the morning and we'll just discuss what, their concerns are at that point.
Okay.
I just want to acknowledge the person that, could have been an emergency on their property or whatever.
It could have been. It could have been. How about thinking about it this way? If you set your standards up that you are a professional and you have a certain one. If I call up my doctor at 8 o'clock at night with a sniffle, he's not answering the phone. All right. If I call up my doctor and said, "Listen, I just fell over. I'm having a heart attack," he's going to answer the phone. All right. It's the same thing in our business. Set your standards, whatever they are. Taking calls at 9 o'clock, if that's what you want to do, that's yours. Totally okay. Set your standards so you teach people how to treat you. You want to have your business open from 9 to 6? Perfect. Your voicemail says, "Hi, this is Jon Mcleod in Naples. Please leave a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If it's after 6 o'clock at night, I'll call you tomorrow morning. Or if it's on a Sunday, I'll call you on Monday. If this is an emergency, please text me." Because what I don't want to do, from learning the hard way, is I don't want to give up my family time for something that's not a problem. Get the calls all the time. Well, the home inspection came in today and it says I have to fix the faucet. Okay, it's 9:30 at night. Are you going to go to Home Depot and fix the faucet tonight if I tell you to fix it? No. Okay, good night. We'll chat tomorrow. You train people how to treat you. So set the habits nice and early. Don't fall victim to your own success. That's a huge one. Okay. When I first got started in this business back in '91, I was very fortunate to have very quick success, and it cost me a couple friendships because I didn't act this way. All right, I didn't act like a business owner. I acted like a kid that was making too much money, and it went to my head quickly. So absolutely keep hold of that. Keep hold of your work-life balance. We all have relationships outside of work. All of our clients have relationships outside of work. We all have friends, family, loved ones. We have activities we like to do. Who likes to go fishing? Perfect. Who likes to go to the beach? Who likes to play golf? Who likes to play tennis? Who would like to have none of that stuff in their life?
All that stuff you mentioned, I don't do, but I like to have fun.
What do you like to do?
I mean, I have a lot of friends and we go out to dinner and
Okay.
just do stuff.
Okay.
You know.
And you want to be able to keep doing that.
Unfortunately, my back won't allow me to go fishing or just, things like that, but yeah.
But you have you have your recreation that you're comfortable with
Yeah,
and
I got
enjoy.
coming up this weekend, yeah.
You need to keep that balance. Remember, I lost the game after 450 transactions.
Yeah.
I lost the game. I gave up.
Wow.
Okay? Because I didn't have this. How many people go to the doctor and they refer to you, oh, look at this, my past patient's back. You know what a past patient is? Past client in the medical world?
They're dead.
Past. They're dead. All right? Remove past clients from your vocabulary. There's no such thing. They bought a house from you. You sold their listing. They are a client. They are a client for life. Treat them that way. That's it. They are forever your client. So this next one's also a lot of fun. Let's get into some more numbers here. So we figured out that your average commission up here is probably about $8,000. So,
if you rode with me, it's half that.
yeah, but you sell like 4 times of what everyone else does, so. It's the same principle, all right? The average age for a first-time home buyer is 30. Okay. They buy. Someday they're going to sell. How long currently does the average person own their home before they move?
7.
Bingo, 7 years. So guess what? 37, 44, 51, 58, 65. And then they retire to Punta Gorda, live on the water, one of the last few places in Florida you can actually buy a place on the water and not have to cash in 3 IRAs and 401ks and every other asset you have to be able to do it. Perfect. So they buy a house. Then guess what happens? They're going to sell their house at 37, buy another one. Sell at 44, buy another one. Buy another one.
Excuse me.
Buy another one. Then they're going to sell and buy again. How many transactions is that one client worth? 11. 11 transactions. Everybody you come in contact with your first year is worth 11 deals to you. Everyone that you come in contact with is not $8,000. They are $88,000. $88,000. What would happen to your life if this person was treated so well that they told 2 people and that those 2 people were referred to you and they bought from you?
88 times 3.
Right. But that's an exponential growth pattern. So if you take the mindset that your clients, all you need to do is service your clients in your database, think of the power, the exponential power of $88,000 per client building a tree, or a pyramid in this case. It does not take long in this business with the focus to build a business where you're netting $500,000 a year, $700,000 a year, $1 million a year, whatever your goal is, whatever the reason, there is no reason for you not to achieve it. One of the things that we picked up at Mega Camp last week is you will never have a dream put inside your head that you cannot achieve. So if you've had a dream for something, God knows you'll be able to achieve it.
They talked about being a team leader down in Punta Gorda, Florida.
And you're here. Look at that.
Never heard of Punta Gorda, Florida before.
See, it just happens. Now you just came back here because you just going drinking beer and smoking cigars with me.
That's right.
And we still haven't done it yet, so there's a problem. MVDVP. It's really hard to say. Does everyone know what that is?
Somebody, come on.
This is not new. This is all out of MREA. Okay. Yes. How important is this? All right. Your mission. Your mission is why you are who you are, what you want to do. your vision, where you want to go, your values, your beliefs, all right, your perspective. All of this defines you. Do you want to work with people that are like you?
Yes.
Is it, you find it easy to work with people that are like you?
Yes.
If you can clearly define all of these points succinctly in a couple-minute conversation with a prospective buyer or seller, do you think they're more likely to latch on because they like you? Why do we do business with people?
Because we like people. I like
Yeah.
people person.
What you go to your hairdresser? Is it the best hairdresser in the area, or you personalities click?
Relationships.
Thank you.
They come to my
I did not use buying a car purposely.
Give me a suggestion, I'm ready to buy a truck.
Well, I'll tell you what. I just got rid of a few months ago. I just got rid of my Ram 1500. It was the best truck I've ever owned. It was awesome. Big Hemi. It was great. The reason I got rid of it is one of my little old lady clients couldn't get in.
Then I couldn't get in. I was with one of my customers and
So that's
there was
why
a
I got
big
rid of
distance.
it. And I went and got a very small car. Well, by comparison, another Dodge, but with the same engine. So, and now she can get in there and we can get from point A to point B way too fast. So, your MVVBP creates your compass. I know Jim spent some time on the water, most of it at the dock, but he does spend some time on the water. We talked about that earlier, it's true. If you don't have a compass, you don't know where you're going. You don't know what direction you're pointing. So this creates your personal and moral compass, which gives you the ability to share with other people, all right? What's next? I do this enough, you think I know these in order.
social media.
Social media.
Yay.
So the first thing I'm going to say about that is if you're posting political posts, if you're posting religious posts, take your database, cut it in half, because you've just devalued your most important asset. All right?
That's important for newer agents, okay?
You hit send, it's gone. All right? Little story. My wife teaches a program called Rad Kids. Some of these stories I get teary-eyed on, so I apologize for that, but deal with it. She teaches a program called Rad Kids. She was abused by a neighbor as a child, so her big why is to keep from allowing kids to get in this situation. In this program, we talk specifically about social media. Now, everyone's heard of Snapchat, right? Do you really think that if you post something on Snapchat that is gone after 10 seconds?
No, the Russians have it.
The Russians have it. Awesome. Did you know that all of these social media companies are required to keep every single keystroke ever that has ever been punched, swiped, or pushed on social media? They need to keep it all recorded. Their data warehouses are crazy. And it's all linked to the unique serial number from your device.
Your IP address.
It's called your MAC address.
That's how they
Your IP address tells you where you were. Your MAC address tells you which device you were using.
That's how they find you.
There is nothing secret. Nothing. So if you're going to send something out on social media that might be derogatory, might offend somebody, or you're going to pick a fight with somebody online, guess what? It's there forever. And it can be found really easily. Really easily. My father used to own part of a forensic internet company. That data is there, and it's not hard to find if you know what you're doing. So be very careful.
Customers that are into that stuff? Or?
They will look you up. It's more than going to Google for these guys.
It's scary.
So think of Facebook as like going to a barbecue. All right. What do you want to talk about when you're at a neighbor's house?
Talk about the day, what happenings, what have you did.
Right.
You know.
Do you want to talk about Amway or Isogenics or any other of those buy all my
Not really.
stuff? No. You don't.
Or the latest mail order makeup.
Thank you. No, you don't want to have those conversations. You want to have heart-to-heart conversations. That's how Facebook is. It's your backyard barbecue. Twitter, Twitter is short and sweet. You're standing in line for a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, and you say hi to somebody. There's your Twitter. That's it. LinkedIn, professional. Keep it all business. 100%. Do as much business posting as you want. Now, going back to the Ford principle, somebody over here said it just a second ago.
David.
It might have been David. So when you're doing social media posting, especially on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, use the Ford principle. Start liking people's posts, comment on them. Don't just like and love and do a cute little emoji. Comment on them. Oh, little Susie went to the first day of school today. That's awesome. How'd you like it? Talk about their family. You see them posting about occupation. Talk about that. They just went on vacation. Talk about that. Their dreams. Mine, 1957, Chris Craft, all mahogany speedboat with a 327 Fireball. Not that I've ever thought about it, but I can picture it. I know how many times a year I'm going to pull it out of the water to revarnish it because I love doing that stuff. And I know where it's going to be. And it won't be in Florida. It will be in the mountains, either in the Carolinas or Colorado. So
Yes.
I've already got it all mapped out. So talk about all of that before you even think about doing a business post. Again, you're being real, you're being genuine. There are agents out there that all they do is business all day long. They 15, 20 posts, it's all business. Guess what? Let's block this person or hide this person because
For real.
you want to, it's all about being real.
Yeah.
All right? What's next? We're going to go for a few more minutes. We'll take a break because I know everybody's going to need about 6:30. We'll take a quick break so you can get rid of some water, get some more water, get some more pizza, what have you.
Get rid of some water. I know, because it's...
Be learning, yes.
On your social media posts, what's your suggestion of your top 3 that you like being on?
You know what? I really only use 2. I use Facebook and I use LinkedIn. I haven't gotten into Instagram yet. My kids tell me that Instagram's already long past. I don't use a lot of social media because of the traps that you can get into. It's so easy when you're reading somebody's post about some nonsense to comment on it. It's so easy to get sucked into that.
They write these long
Yep.
things and then you.
Stay away.
Yeah.
That is poison for your business. So learning-based action focus. On that note, congratulations to all you guys. Thank you for coming out on a Wednesday evening to learn some more stuff. All right, that takes commitment. That's awesome. So go to training. You guys have a great training room here. Dave, I know, lines up great stuff other than me. I think he was running out of material and.
Jim told me we had to.
I already get like 10 bucks
Listen,
ahead.
Yeah.
I've been around long enough to know that when there's pizza, people show up. It's just natural. Don't be a professional student. Who in the room would honestly raise their hand and say all they would be thrilled if they could just go to classes and learn everything they need to know about real estate before they went and talked to somebody? Who's that person?
No.
Oh, come on, there you go. I was going to say, there's always a handful. The ones that I don't know it yet. I don't have the answers. I have to have the answers before I go. Guess what? I've sold 500 homes now. Every transaction is different. Everyone, I'm like, wow, didn't see that coming. Every single time. You will never know. You will never know everything. So here's where we get to break out another sports analogy, and it's going to really annoy him. So why do you practice?
To get better.
To get better. Okay. Amateurs practice to get it right.
It's a perfection.
Now,
Not perfection, but
amateurs
to
practice
develop
just to get it
yourself.
right. Professionals practice to never get it wrong. All right. And there is a difference between practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you practice wrong, you're going to do it wrong. Perfect practice makes permanent. So when you're doing your role playing and your scripting with Dave at 8:30 in the mornings, do it just like you're on the phone with a potential client. All right? How many hours does it take to become 100% perfect at doing something?
10,000.
10,000. Yep.
30 days.
Who's got 10,000 hours left to get perfect at calling just for sale by owners? Yeah, I don't. Who's heard of the Pomodoro principle? Also known as the 80-20 rule. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Customer targets 80.
You can get 80% proficient like that. Just do that. Get 80% proficient. Why is it that the New England Patriots are always in the Super Bowl?
Because they cheat. Go ahead, say Drew.
John's answer. John said deflation.
We know why.
Well, first of all, if you actually understood Boyle's law, you would know that the ball would not go farther deflated. But we'll get, that's a whole other topic for another day. I don't want to get all civic on you.
You can hang on to it.
It's easier to catch, but it's harder to throw. Tom Brady is by far, I don't care whether you like him or not, he's by far the best quarterback ever to play the game. What makes him so great? It's not his physical stature. Okay, he's as tall as David, probably better looking.
That's
It's got better on the
he married a supermodel.
His wife.
The point is if you ever watch a New England game and you see what Brady does on the sideline versus what Kirk Cousins does on the sideline. I've used the Miami quarterback, but I haven't known who the quarterback is since Dan Marino.
Neither does Miami.
Nobody does. What does Brady do? He's either looking at all the plays from the last set, or he is throwing the ball to a receiver, perfecting his passes. Everyone else is sitting on the sideline. They're sitting underneath a warmer or a jacket. They're getting all cold if they're in Chicago. What's Brady doing? He's practicing before he has to go back out on the field. Okay? You have to practice and get proficient. There's a difference between college education and real estate training. Okay? You can go and get your degree, your MBA, your doctorate. You're in school for 20 years. You'd probably really love that. See? The real estate is, like I said, it's a contact sport. You're going to be doing on-the-job training. So you have to get over that fear. And it's very real. There's some classes I've done where 10 out of 15 people are like, oh God, I need to know everything before I go out there. It's a hard pill to swallow for some people. Back on mastery for a quick second. Everyone know who Bruce Lee is? Better question. Who does not know who Bruce Lee is? Good. Everyone knows Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee was asked what he's more afraid of. He says, this guy's practiced 10,000 different kicks. He says, that doesn't bother me. I'm afraid of the guy who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Because all he's got to do is wait for his moment. As soon as that moment's there, you're done. So
that's how Tyson fought.
What's that?
It is. That's how Mike Tyson fought.
That's exactly right.
He waited for the ring.
He just waited for that moment. All right? Track your business. How do you think I knew I made $15 every time someone did whatever they wanted to say on the phone? Didn't matter. Every single time I dialed the phone, I made $15. Made $1,050 an hour because I tracked the numbers. Get yourself just a little piece of paper in front of you, and every time you get a contact, put a hash mark on it. Every time you get a lead, make it an X. You set an appointment, 0. In your last half hour, you put all that stuff into a little spreadsheet. Real simple. Or you talk to Jim about joining the locker room and they can do it all for you. There's a little commercial. Did you see that, Jake? Okay. So track. Because if you track, you know where to adjust. Okay? Have you ever been to the doctor and they walk in and the doctor looks at you and says, here's penicillin, go?
No.
Without ever asking you a question? Okay, well, you need a new doctor. You can't prescribe a fix until you know what the problem is. So
I'm not going to that doctor, that's for sure. If you don't
it
ask
did.
questions.
Yeah, well, I guess there probably are doctors out there that do that. Remember, CEOs know their numbers. They know where the big levers are. They know where the weak points are. And by knowing your numbers, you can look at your opportunities. Not where you're failing. Okay, because there are no failures in this. It's all opportunities. Now, if you know that you're going out on appointments and you're closing 1 out of every 5 listing appointments to go on, you go find that person that's closing 2 out of 3. I really want to see your listing presentation. Can I tag along with you? Because if you can go from 1 out of 5 to 2 out of 3, you almost tripled your income without working any harder. That's why you need to know your numbers. You need to know where your opportunities are, how you can work smarter, double, triple, quadruple your income without putting extra hours in. Make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. Which leads us to treat your business like a business. And then we'll take the break for pizza, whatever. So, treat your business like a business. It is a business. I heard that. It's the problem with these hearing aids. I hear
No,
everything.
it's
Somebody's little thing beeping somewhere.
It's a notification.
That's all right. Are you building a business or a hobby?
It's business.
Okay. And it's okay. Real estate is one of those wonderful careers that if you want to have a hobby at it, you can. You need to ask yourself, are you building a business or are you building a hobby? Okay, the purpose of your business is to fund your life. So like I said, I think we're going to end with a few extra minutes talking about the big why, about your life, and what you want your life to become, and what you can do when you understand it. Follow a routine. How many ultra successful people do you know go into the office at a different time every day? They do different tasks every day, and it's just kind of a haphazard mess. Better yet, how many people you know went on a walkabout, to quote Crocodile Dundee, and ended up on top of Mount Everest? No one. No one just goes out there and has it happen. If you want to get to Everest, guess what you're doing? You're training to climb Everest. All right? You have to have the routine to do that. Would you hire yourself? We all say yes because you know what? Well, we kind of like ourselves. I mean, I like me. You guys all like yourselves.
Good enough.
But, and gosh darn it, people like me. The point of it is honestly ask yourself that. And if you can look at yourself and say, you know, here is a reason I wouldn't hire myself. Now you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to grow. You have an opportunity to solve a problem and generate more revenue to be able to fund your perfect life. Are you showing up as someone who makes $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million a year? Back to the dollar per hour. Do you know what your dollar per hour is? Do you know which activities generate your highest dollar per hour? If your dollar per hour is worth $300 an hour, okay, that means you're making, I don't know, $150,000 a year. Why are you doing activities that you could pay somebody $25 an hour to do? Right? By my math, you're losing $275 an hour every time you do something that you should be leveraging out. All right? All right, cool. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and we will talk like-minded people.
Pizza.
And there's more pizza.
Like I do, because like I do things right, and then I have struggled. Even when I managed my garage before, I struggled. I would be like, no, you can't do a schedule. You can't, you know, I would not trust them. And then like they forced me. It was like crying paper. They were like, Jake, just stop doing everything.
Okay, ready for you.
Okay, so I got an addendum. It's like the last one. Here it is. Okay. I have to sign it, and so do my buyers and sellers, or so does my sellers. Okay. There actually should be a third seller on here, but I have no idea what to do with this. Like what? Like,
Okay, so download it, and do you use download?
Okay, yes, I do, and I really suck at the download.
That's okay.
I knew I could.
That's okay, yep, absolutely.
By the way, I wanted to join the whole script thing, but I was too embarrassed.
No, it's good to come in when you don't know what you're doing, because that way
I'm gonna. I don't care. I
It's
don't
worth
give a
it.
shit anymore. Okay, so to download.
That's what we do on the road.
So
Here probably forward or
no,
something.
click the little
Okay.
and
Okay.
click that.
Okay.
And that should open it in another screen. So there you go. So click.
Okay, save.
Oh well.
No.
Select a different spot. Just 'cause,
Where? How about KY files? I
Yeah,
like that one. Okay, and then save.
Yep.
See, the more I do this, And it's ridiculous because it's like, I know, but I panic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
now I go to dot loop?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get out of here, go to my dot loop. I truly am getting a little better, I swear.
No, you're doing good so far.
Okay, then I'm gonna go to, where is it?
That one?
Yes, thank you. Okay, and I'm gonna download and add and download,
Yeah,
right?
so we'll first go to, let's see, it's the sale documents, right?
Yeah.
So click add documents.
Because it's a sale, or there's no addendum area, is there?
Right, no.
No,
So
just,
yeah.
okay. So now I'm gonna
go to browse.
Okay.
You've saved it in KW files.
And
That's it right there.
it's right here. Open. Gosh. Okay, now what?
Okay, so now you're gonna open it. That's the revised addendum.
Okay, because I want to make sure, and then I'm gonna sign it.
So yeah, so you
have...
need to put in the spaces to
right.
sign. So
Okay,
you're gonna click add.
Add signature.
And you're just gonna move it down. There you go. That's okay. Move your page down and then you can drag it. There you go.
Okay. Sign right here.
And that's your signature?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna assign the field.
And you can assign it to yourself.
And that's gonna be, where am I? Oh my God, how could I not be on here?
Yeah, I have.
Add person.
Should I?
You're all right.
I have so much trouble adding the signature line.
Here I am.
Okay. There's just a lot of people on it, that's all.
Yeah, okay. Add signature, and I'm going to sign now.
Go ahead and click sign now, yeah.
Okay, and adopt. Okay, and then I'm going to make
you're going to do the same
file.
Thing. No, you're going to add the signature for your sellers, right?
Signature, yep.
And just put it on the seller line.
Right on the seller line or down like here?
No, you can put it right on the seller line.
Because there should be 3 sellers.
That's okay.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to do it, assign the field to the first one.
Assign field to... assign field to, here they are, Susan Bowman.
So you're going to do it again. Signature.
Yeah, there.
Nope, no, you're fine.
I think he's been
Put it
hanging
right on
around
that
here.
line.
Yeah, come up a little.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, see, that's what I have.
So just drag it over a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, there you go. And then you can assign the field. Yep,
Okay,
go ahead.
assign the field, and that's going to be James.
I'm cutting the top of his
And
head
then
off
I'm
just a little bit.
going to make another one.
Yep.
Add signature.
And then you can just put it right to the side here.
Oh.
Thanks, sir.
Just so they know it's a seller. Because the date, see how it dates it when they sign it? So you don't have to worry about putting the date in. So when you're doing the signature.
Sign it to Donald. Oh,
so then, no, it's no big deal. So then click save and share.
Save and share.
And then just make sure that it's going to all 3 sellers, yes.
James, Donald, Susan, and then I also want,
Do I go to the gas?
this is a lawyer.
Okay, yep.
Seller's attorney.
Yep, that's good. View only is good.
Yeah, view only.
So click attach PDF. That way they can download a copy, and that way you don't have to worry about returning it to them, because that way they have their signed copy right away.
And once I share, I'm a done deal.
Yep. Just text them or call them and let them know that they have it.
It's on there, it's where sign it.
Stressed out taking that test?
That's
it. I do have your phone number, don't I?
I hope so. If not, I can give it to you.
Because, I mean, I'm just getting so busy, and I'm like,
Good.
what he's saying, that I have to know everything before I do it.
Yeah,
And it's just, I can't do it.
I was the same thing. I wouldn't do anything because I was like, I gotta know. And Penny, the coach, was like, just do it. She's like, if you screw it up, we'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Just do it.
My problem was I couldn't get a hold of it.
Yeah. Well, towards the end, she's sort of like.
So when I'm doing those signatures, I'm not getting the little thing that says where to sign.
So once you add it, it should say assign field. Are you putting your people into your loop?
I wish I had mine.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow, we were gonna have a mastermind tomorrow, but I'm gonna stay I'm gonna stay till 5. So from like 4 to 5, I'll be in here. And if you have questions for .loop or anything else, well, I'm in my office most of the day too.
So, yeah, tomorrow I got a buyer, and then I got Jennifer Tower to she's gonna give me like an hour's worth of teaching.
Okay, yeah.
I'll see if I can make it do what I.
She's also
Yeah, and if not, stop in. I'm in the office right at the corner over there. So you can always stop in. You know, me or my dad's there a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm gonna be I have a, what time will you be here?
Probably 8.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I have physical therapy.
Yeah, I'm losing it and like super scared.
Further down for
Oh,
you.
you know my
Maybe I'll stop by.
arms, I have my Advil with me.
Because I have a fella that's, he's moving today.
Yeah.
I know, he's older, so I know I have to get it. I know how to do it.
That's what I'm doing. I've got her, man. I love her. She's good. And then I want her to teach me so that I can actually help her. Make it easier. Back to my business.
I messed up for her. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
No, I tell my son that.
Practice
He's
and
like,
I always say
he's like, now that I
practice
know how to
makes
play the saxophone, I'm like, you've been playing for like a year. Like, he's like, I'm gonna take a bass. He's like, now that I'm good at that, I'm gonna do piano. Like, stop. Like, I make you play the saxophone outside. Like,
knowing that you blow into it and move your fingers.
Yeah.
That isn't knowing how to play.
That's
Yeah, I like how you
I'm
do
dead.
that for your.
I'm dead.
That's like a recorder. Does anybody really master a recorder? Is that what sound?
If you master it when your mother hides it. That's good enough.
I just have to, like you said, tomorrow, my email.
All right, you guys ready? 'Cause I want to get you out. I want to get you out of here on time. For those who want to leave on time.
Okay.
All right.
Starting out, guys.
Associate with like-minded people. We already talked about the 5. You are the average of the 5 closest people in your life. Okay. You can have like-minded people and be a Patriots fan and a Dolphin fan and still get along. A Red Sox fan and a Yankee fan might be an issue.
Yeah.
I'm like, did we game each other?
So-
What's going on here?
When you're associating with like-minded people, similar goals, aspirations, okay. The goal. Who knows who Simon Sinek is? Simon Sinek? No? Okay. The goal in business is not to do business with those who need what we have. It's to do business with those who believe what we believe. Goes back to your MBVBD. You say that enough, you start stuck. You want to do business with people like you, who feel the same way you do and have the same beliefs that you do. All right? You want to be around people who are going to build you up, not tear you down. Now, as a coach, people think I'm tearing them down. I'm really not tearing them down. I'm making them look really deeply to be honest with themselves. There is a difference between getting people to be honest with themselves and extracting the best that they can be, or being insultive and derogatory and tearing somebody down. Okay?
Right.
So after this in the beginning, find someone who's done what you want to do, that you like, and ask them to be in your inner 5. And you go up and say, hey, would you be one of my inner 5? They probably don't know what you're talking about. But, would you be willing to mentor me if I sent you my plan once a month and you look it over and poke holes in it? And then at the end of the month, we go over it again and you make sure I did what I said I was going to do. Would you be willing to do that? You'll find that the real successful people that understand it are more than happy to spend 15, 20 minutes a month looking over your plan for the previous month and the upcoming month to make sure that you're on track. And they will find holes in your plan and ideas and weaknesses that you would never have thought of.
Wow.
That's why you want to have those 5 people. You're going to send it to all 5 of them. I will hold on that because we got a picture coming in on that one. Why do we practice?
Because it makes permanent.
Perfect practice makes permanent, right? Master your listing presentation. How many people use a listing presentation? It's the exact same presentation every time. Okay? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it creates a habit.
Yeah,
All right?
use the same scenario, but different.
So what happens? You walk into a house, you got your listing presentation ready to go, and on slide 2 they say, okay, we'll sign.
Don't forget the listing.
Here's 2 copies, press hard.
You please tell me you pack up the presentation and get the contract out.
Yeah, we're we're signing.
Okay, good.
Honestly, at this point, most of them end up that way because you send a pre-listing package.
Right, exactly. And if you've done your pre-listing package really well, all your listing presentation work is done for you. You walk in to verify that everything they told you about the house is true.
My first one's tomorrow.
Great. Now all we have to do is figure out if I'm willing to take you as a client.
That's it.
There's a lot of power in that phrase. We have 3 things to accomplish tonight. Find a price for your home, establish your motivation, and see if I want to work for you.
What do you mean? Why would you want to work for me?
I might not like you.
Especially since I don't like Brady in the past, huh?
You might not like my number.
Yeah. You may not like the number. You might have a conversation with a client. How many have had a client that they wish they never worked for?
I did.
Okay, you want a couple more arms? We've all had them. There's a lot of power, a lot of satisfaction in having the confidence to be able to sit down with someone and say, you know, we're not a good fit for each other. And I really want you to have the best experience. I don't think I'm the one that's going to be able to deliver that for you. There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power for you personally in being able to turn the business down. You walk out the door knowing you just left $8,000, $5,000, $20,000, whatever it is, on the table. But you did it because you knew it was the right decision, because that person or that transaction is going to take up so much time and energy, it's going to keep you from being able to progress forward. So don't ever be afraid to turn down that person. All right? Don't ever be afraid of that. So, first rule of thumb in MREA, the 3 L's. Leads, listings, leverage, right? We can design all the awesome systems we want. We can learn everything you can possibly learn about real estate. Without a lead, you have no business. How many people, when they got their license, figured they post a picture of it up on Facebook and all of a sudden just the phone would ring off the hook? Doesn't happen, does it? Now, you guys, your market up here is probably similar to ours. Everybody in town knows 17 real estate agents. Right?
Only 17?
See, thank you. So you need to master every aspect of it. The listing presentation, listings are the crown jewel of this business. It's what will cause you to survive. It's what will cause you to thrive. Master your listing presentation, okay? Now, this one has been around since when I started. You list to last. You have to. Why would you wing it with a real client? Now, a lot of people do very well going in and having a conversation with a client. And you would look at it from the outside, and it would look like they were winging it. But they've been doing it so long that it's all internalized. They can redirect the conversation. It always go to, if you watch them do 10 listing presentations, you'll realize, well, shoot, they showed up with a notebook, a yellow pad. It's the same listing presentation every time. It doesn't look like a presentation. It looks very casual, unscripted, very soft, very easy for the seller to relate to. But it's the same conversation every single time. You know, I sat down with an agent up in Westchester, New York. His name's Aaron Wittenstein. If you guys are on Facebook and you're on the lead generation scripts and objections forum, Aaron is the one who developed that. I went up and spent 3 days with him because I was told to go shadow people that knew what they were doing. Well, this guy's selling an awful lot of property. I was going to be in the area anyway, so I called him up and said, I want to shadow you. He says, why? Because you are going to be bored out of your mind. I said, well, good. Show me what bored and successful looks like. It's repetition. It's the same thing every day. It's boring. He's incredibly successful. His listing presentation is a yellow notebook and a manila folder. The yellow notebook, he draws a couple things, the same point in the conversation every time, and the manila folder has the contract in it. That's his presentation. and he's awesome at it. It's completely scripted. It just doesn't seem like it. Master whatever it is you decide to do. If you're going to go in, like we did in the old days, with a 3-ring binder that looked like a flip chart, and go chart to chart to chart to chart, master it. Know when they bought in and when you can move on and sign the deal. Know when it's time for you to excuse yourself and no longer want to be part of the deal. Set your standards. Own your presentation. How many people participate in Dave's call at 8:30 in the morning? You need to. You got 2 people that said, are they being truthful?
Yeah, well, Norm's been on it. Emma's been on, Joe's been on it. Yeah, thank you.
Maggie was on it.
Maggie was on it, that's right.
The young girl that was back here was on.
It's new to a lot of people.
Listen, you want to prepare. You want to be prepared for those conversations. That's the best way of doing it. Learn how to handle the objections, because you know what? There's only like 6. There really are. Right. You start talking to people, maybe 10. It's all going to be the same thing. Well, my house is worth more because it's got the heavy duty concrete. Sure it does. Sure it does. My house. I know that they're building this house right now for $300,000. Mine's worth $350,000.
Great.
That's a customer.
Why? Well, because
My neighbor down the street.
yeah, I've got better colors. Every excuse in the book.
2005 ship just left.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, first thing on objections. They give you the objection once, it's not an objection. So if they put up a wall and they throw out what looks like an objection, quickly brush it off, say something, brush it off, go on to the next question. They bring it up again, it actually is an objection. At that point, you want to handle it. Now, the objection could be, why do I want to list with you for 6% or 5% or 10% when I can go for sale by owner and not have to pay anybody? That's every for sale by owner's objection. I just don't want to pay you. Great.
Went on one last week like that.
Great. I get it. I get it. So who's got the objection for that one? Who's going to handle that one?
I told her when I was there last week, I said, so who's gonna, I said to her, who's gonna do your contract when you get it on it?
Whoa.
Oh, you know what? I get my attorney to write it for $700.
So I told her,
That's way cheaper than paying you.
I said, well, you're gonna pay your attorney at least $5,000 or $6,000, and if the sale falls through, you're gonna lose that $5,000 or $6,000.
That's maybe a chance I'm willing to take.
I said, I don't get paid unless your house closes, and so you're guaranteed.
You can sell the quality of it, right?
Donato, have you ever had surgery?
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I had my shoulder replaced a year ago. Okay. My surgeon had his shoulder replaced. Did he do his own surgery?
No. I hope not.
He's the best in the business.
So was my doctor, buddy.
Did he do his own surgery? No. So start thinking of, and they can be completely outlandish. Great, you sold 5 houses in the past before. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Congratulations. And you got absolute top dollar, or did you get what you wanted for the house? You're supposed to answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like,
no,
I didn't get what I wanted.
Okay. Every for sale by owner tells all their friends, I got what I wanted. You go talk to one of their neighbors that wants to list out, my buddy down the street just got what he wanted for the house. This is awesome. What was that? Well, he was asking $300. The tax worker sold it for $220. But he got what he wanted. Did he get what he deserved? Probably because he didn't hire a professional.
Exactly.
All right. Know how to handle the scripts and the objections. Every single day you're going to come up with an objection. Slightly different spin, and you're going to start coming up with just a slightly different answer every time. They're going to start rolling off your tongue. That's how you know you own it. That's when you start working with newer agents and helping them along. When you start teaching, you become much more proficient. Okay? What's next slide? You're going to love this one. It's just like, yep, that's me. Know your local market better than anyone. The beauty of this is your local market is whatever you make it. Okay? Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, that's not your local market. It could be a subdivision of 50 homes. Your local market could be you specializing specifically on canal front homes, riverfront homes, beachfront homes, high-rise condominiums, easterly facing golf course homes that have a lake in the backyard and a family of ducks. Whatever it is, own it. Know it better than everyone else in the marketplace.
Animals are cool.
Animals are cool.
Yeah.
We just moved in a new house a week and a half ago, and the day we moved in, there was a panther in the backyard.
Did he come say hi?
In the middle of Naples, there's a panther in the
Oh,
backyard.
I see them.
The next night, I've got the biggest black bear I've ever seen ripping through my garbage.
It was on the news.
Yeah, so animals are great. I'm not sure I want to be the expert in panther properties, but maybe.
Welcome to farmland.
This is not farmland. This is across the street from 2 schools.
Yeah.
Wow.
There just happens to be some panther habitat where I'm at. Anyhow, become the expert in your market. The expert. I'm a licensed boat captain. I don't take people fishing because I love to fish. I never want to lose the fun. But I know the waterways in Naples better than anyone. I can tell you where every rock is in every waterway because I've probably hit them. In my boats or in clients' boats. So.
Is that why your boat's going to be in Colorado or in North Carolina?
No. That's a different boat, man. That's like a '63 Stingray split rear window Corvette. That's one of those that doesn't get out that much. Anyhow.
Yeah, right. It goes way too
Lake Ellen's
fast.
pretty awesome in Colorado.
Yep. Know your market better than anyone, because in doing so, when you're trying to get that last tipping point, all right, the last tipping point that seller needs to make a decision on whether you're the right person or not, it's going to be who has the best knowledge of the market. Who can be looked at as the economist? Now, we've all been hearing for a year or two that there's going to be a big shift coming in the real estate market, right? And we're all sitting back saying, well, geez, people are, no, you just got here.
Yeah,
so,
I'm like,
you've been hearing it for all a day and a half.
That's true.
We've been hearing it's going to shift. It can't keep, this is the longest stretch in history for real estate prices appreciating ever. The longest stretch. They're going to have to fall back at some point. Well, the news started coming out yesterday that most countries are starting to get nervous about the economy. Denmark has negative interest loans for homes. Think about that. You got a home that's worth $500,000. You borrow $500,000 and you pay down $2,000 a month. They credit you $2,200 a month.
I'm moving.
That sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah, not really.
Until you start really thinking about the economic ramifications of negative interest loans. Okay?
Something ain't right for
That kind of works along the same model as Enron and other businesses that we won't mention that are current in our industry that operate on the same type of let's take money out of this pocket and put it in this pocket model. It doesn't work. You will implode. Your economy will implode with negative rates. There is no way around it. Enron, who's owned stocks back in the late 90s? Or at least heard of Enron?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Nothing good came from that. Enron went from like a couple dollars a share to $500 a share, and then overnight they were bankrupt, and everybody lost all their money. All right? That's the sort of thing that happens in a devaluing economy. So there's a lot of economists very skittish right now. Be the economist of choice when it comes to the real estate market, the market that you are working, your hyper-local market. This is for you. Knowledge is power and confidence. All right? 80% proficient, that's where you need to be. You don't need to be 100%, you need to be 80%. Take 30 minutes of your day, study MLS stats for your market. Learn things like average list to sales price ratio, days on market, price per square foot, The difference between a pool home and a non-pool home is the price per square foot justified, or are you better off buying a home without a pool and putting a pool in? Which upgrades or repairs before a home goes on the market are going to create the most value? That's one that you've really got to be careful of, because you go in and everyone, when they're doing remodeling on a home, they want to make it theirs. That's not the point. The point is to make it sellable. All right. The operating principal at my office has flipped about 100 homes in his career. And you go in and they're all the same. It's the same paint, same countertops, same cabinets, same flooring if you needed to replace the flooring. There are two things that stand out about it. Well, three things. Center islands are always on wheels. Because if you put it on the ground and it's not movable, you have to have a permit. So by putting it on wheels, you save permitting fees.
Oh, boy.
Pretty interesting. No garbage disposals. No garage door openers. That's all stuff that cuts into profit. You know what? People go in and they buy the houses, they tend to pay more than they're asking for them. Why? Because, like, you know what? For $150, I can put a garbage disposal in. For $400, I can put a garage door opener in. That's not going to be a deal breaker. But that's from the mindset of getting the most value for your repairs. That's profit that you lose. So understand which repairs truly are going to get a 2-to-1 return on your client's dollar before we recommend any of it. Because if you can't be comfortable that they spend $20,000 and going to get 40 more for the house, at that point it's just a HGTV, let's redecorate and see if we love it or list it kind of deal. 2-to-1 return for every dollar they spend. So know it and understand it. Set goals and create a plan. How many people set a goal at the beginning of the year for either number of transactions or gross commission income for 2019? Is it written down?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in front of us every day.
Perfect. Love it. Do you use your 411?
Just whenever, yesterday morning.
Mine's right here.
Nice.
I got mine.
Nice. Okay. If it's written down, it's a lot easier to get to. If you're tracking your numbers, it's a lot easier to know where your opportunities are, right? So the beauty of being here at Keller Williams is all the tools you need are already here. They're already here. Write it down. Good job, Amanda. Not a wish. Okay? Don't be realistic and reasonable. What do I mean by that?
Don't be
What's
scared.
I would say it's low volume, not low volume.
Yes, don't sell yourself short. All right, don't sell yourself short. If you did 20 transactions last year, and your goal this year was to do 24, whatever. That's like if you can't grow by 20% just by looking at 3 or 4 pieces of paper on what you did last year. You know, if you did 20 transactions last year, you want to do 60 this year. That's a goal. And like I said, at the end, we're going to talk about all the whys behind it, because when you have a why, all of a sudden your goal doesn't matter. Or you will get your goal. You will own it. We talked about this a few minutes ago. Success is boring. Repetition is unsexy. And if you've ever met Aaron, if you ever listened to this, sorry, but Aaron is not sexy. I can say that to him. I'd say it to his face, and he'd probably tell me to F off, and I'm right. Own the process. Commit to the process. Going back to the beginning, success leaves clues. Number one clue that every ultra successful person in any business has is a system and a process that they follow every single day. All right. Time blocking ninja. You have what's your window for prospecting, Amanda? I wanted to make sure you had a full bite of pizza and we'll probably call it lunch.
Well, now I can actually tell you. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays from 8:30 to 9 is the Zoom call. 9 to 12 is my lead generation working on my business, and then from 12 to 12:30 I'm working in my business, and then I've got 1 to 2 or 1:30 to 2:30 working in my business again, and then I have my calendar for the rest of the day to free up for appointments And yes, I take it off my calendar. I do replace it. Like tomorrow, we're not going to have our Zoom call, so we're going to have a listing appointment.
The first one.
Excellent. Good.
That 3 hours.
When do you go to the dentist?
Yeah.
I was supposed to go yesterday at 2:30, but I had to reschedule that. So.
Okay.
But it's after my lead gen time, which is in the
Thank
morning.
you. That's what I was looking for.
Right?
Your lead gen time is your most sacred time of the day. Guess what? Your doctor has other times a day that they can see you. They don't have to see you at 9:30. If that's the only option, you go on a different day. I just had that this afternoon. The doctor wanted to see me in a couple weeks. No, this is my availability. Let's find the first day that I can go in this time frame. That's how you have to do it. And you own your schedule. You have integrity with your schedule. And you do exactly what your schedule says. So if you're script practicing at 8:30, guess what? You're script practicing at 8:30. You're not walking up and down the corridor with a cup of coffee asking how everybody, what they thought of Monday Night Football and that sort of thing. All right? Because not only is that keeping you from getting to your goals, but you're at the same time keeping someone else from getting to their goals.
Exactly.
Your schedule, own your schedule. And I will tell you, start out, if you're brand new at lead generating, just take a 3-hour day, block of the day, 8 to 11, 9 to 12, whatever it is. For you, 1 to 4, you don't like the mornings, which is totally okay. Take your 3-hour block, put it in 5 days a week for the next 6 months.
It's that time for nuts to kick in.
Oh,
The more you do that, after 2 or 3 weeks, you'll realize, now wait a second, I've been doing all this type of lead generation, I'm comfortable with it, I'm getting better, now I want to add something else. So maybe it was just talking to your database. Great, you did that, you got them on a schedule, what are you going to add next? Well, now I want to start calling on for sale by owners. Good. Now you add your for sale by owners in there. So your time block looks like the first half hour is your prep, your first hour is your database, your second hour is for sale by owners, your last half hour is your follow-up. You wrap everything up, clean up your desk, make sure you can see things at the end. Then you say, I want to add expires to it. So now you got 45, 45, 45, and so on. So the more proficient you get, the more laser focused that 3-hour time block will come. Start with just blocking the time off. Then sit down and do it. All right? I think I covered everything that's on this next slide already without even going to it. How cool is that? So you say yes to something, what are you saying no to?
Distraction.
That's the right answer. Typically, you say yes to the distractions and you're saying no to your lead generation or working on your business or working in your business. Or you're saying no to going to your kid's game or your parents' birthday or whatever the case is. All right? Prioritize your tasks. All right? When you're time blocking, your number one priority is generating leads. That's the first thing you do. Now, you've all heard the saying, eat the frog? Okay.
Before 11?
Get it done, first thing. I'll go so far as to tell you, don't even answer email until you're done lead generating.
Cool.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because it's the most important part.
How many people have sat down at your desk and say, I'm going to answer a couple emails, and then next thing you know, 45 minutes are gone?
Yeah, you get bogged down then.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you don't.
Distracted.
If you're going to answer emails in the morning, do it at 5:30. Get up earlier and do it then. Your first work hours of the day is generating leads. Get it done.
To be honest with you, since I came to Keller Williams, it's kind of oiling me to do that because I've never did a lead generation before I came to Keller Williams.
We'll work on it.
I mean, I've been 15 years and I've never heard of lead generation until I got to
Lead
Keller
generation is not sitting up for opportunity time.
Right.
Let's just say that. Okay.
wouldn't do it on
That's not lead generating. What do you do in an open house if nobody shows up?
Make phone calls.
Make phone calls.
Yeah.
Go door knocking.
Yeah, that
Go
I
do
do.
something.
So fill the time. Okay. We learned. Amanda was at Mega Camp. We learned this last week. You start setting up your calendar. Put your family vacation time on your calendar a year in advance. Put it on there. That does not move. If you go to church or have a religion of some sort that has set practice or worship times, guess what? Put it on the calendar, it does not move. Without those two aspects of your life, you are not going to be the best person that you can be for your clients. Yourself, your family, and your faith come before business, all right?
Hey, John, one thing coming
Yeah.
off Bowl 2.0 too, for the people that weren't there with James Shaw, he said don't, when you're at home, you don't want to feel guilty for the things that you didn't get accomplished when you're at work and vice versa.
Right.
So sometimes it's easier to, and I had just learned that at Mega Camp, before
Wow.
that, just for like my 5 to 6 year old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So putting on your personal stuff day by day, Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, whatever, was easier for me. Some people might not be able to lead Jen from 9 to 12. Some people might have to do 1 to 4 or whatever. But as long as you have that personal stuff there, you're going to feel more accomplished and better about getting that work
Absolutely.
done.
Because now your time, your window is shortened on when you can get your work accomplished. You have to get it done in that time frame. How many people have gone on vacation and found that the last couple of days before vacation are the busiest time you've ever had?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You get on a plane, you get off the plane, you got 14 offers there, right?
Yeah.
It always happens.
If your
I
business
wouldn't get
stalls
on the
plan a
plane.
vacation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. So it's the same principle. All right. When you
next
block
meeting.
that time off for your family and your faith first, all of a sudden you have less time of the day to get your business done. And it forces you to do one thing. It forces you to answer the question, what's the one thing that I can do right now that in doing so will make the rest of my day easier, will push me forward to my business goals? What is the one thing? And guess what? You get that one thing accomplished, eating the frog. You get that one thing accomplished. All of a sudden, 15 things on your to-do list are gone because that took care of them all.
Yeah.
Or you can do the 15 things that don't mean anything and you feel real accomplished. This is great. I feel real accomplished. I got 15 out of 16 things done. When the 16th thing was really the one thing you should have done.
The wild one.
We've all been there. To live in abundance and not scarcity. What do you think I mean by that? Living in faith, not fear. How many have been in a situation negotiating and you were afraid that if you didn't get that deal done, that it was going to adversely affect your life? You weren't going to be able to pay the bills, okay? May not be able to make the mortgage or the rent payment. All right. Are you in a position to be able to negotiate for your client? Are you in the best mindset? Okay. You're apt to make poor decisions or potentially make poor decisions with that pressure. So, go ahead.
Not speaking personally, but it does happen is when you have that much riding on a deal, it can start to make you think about compromising your ethics too.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So all of this, we can go back to all the other slides that we talked about tonight. Everything we talked about sets you up to not have to live in fear. Yes, you're going to have business fluctuations, but you don't have to have the one that I had. You absolutely don't have to do that. We don't control the market. I know our sellers think we do. We don't control it. So that's something that you're not going to be able to deal with. What you can deal with is doing everything that we've laid out. You'll have the faith to know that your business is on track. You don't need that deal. If you can walk away from a listing because the client isn't somebody you want to work with, guess what? You don't have to go down the road of trying to get a deal to go together that really isn't in the best interest of your client. Because there will be another one. All right? We're not a product of our circumstances, we're a product of our own decisions. Think about that. Everything that happens to us, we cause. So own your decisions. All right? There's no such thing as being caught in circumstance. All right? It happened because of a decision that we made. Good or bad. Own it. Move on. Too many realtors. How many have heard that? We got 7,000 realtors on our board in Naples.
Yeah, 1,400.
I'd much rather be here. There's not too many realtors here. There's too many realtors in Naples.
But not a lot of them are full-time or
Most of them
professional.
aren't. Most of them aren't. You have 1,400 realtors in your board. You have 295 cappers. All right. Now your office should be commended because you have what 34 cappers.
Yeah. Listen to this, Jim.
You guys have like 12% of the cappers in your marketplace. That is an amazing statistic.
What do you got?
I'm on tape. I don't want to say.
What do you guys have?
15%.
They're a group. Now they're not even a real estate company.
Yeah, you know, that's awesome. All right. So there's no such thing as too many realtors because there are so many people that get their license just in case a friend wants to buy or sell, or they get it because, like, you know what, I see this person did it. Anybody can sell houses, so I'm going to go get mine. And then they pay the $100 a year and never do anything with it.
We used to have a guy, Mark Davidson, who he had some kind of construction related business before he got into this business.
Well digging.
He said he knows it's a business because half is in competition is incompetent and the other half is just lazy.
Exactly. Another great one, you can have reasons or results. You don't have both. So what are you going to choose? Remember, it's your choice. There's no circumstances. It's your decision. You can decide to have results. If you decide not to have results, you by default are going to have reasons. Okay? Have a vision for your business. What does it look like? 2 years from now. Fast forward 2 years from now. What does your business look like? What does your time look like? Has it changed drastically from where things are today? There's so many great quotes in here. A person without a dream has never had a dream come true. And a lot of the stuff we've covered throughout here, you know, you're going to be attracted to, and people will be attracted to you because of who you are. Leverage it. Shout it from the rooftops. What makes you different? Norm, what makes you different?
Think really big.
Okay. So if I'm in you're in Sebring, right?
I'm in Sebring.
I go to Sebring, outside and seeing all these Norm signs everywhere. By talking to the community, what are they going to say about you that, what are they going to, when they think of you, what light do they think of you in? And what sets you apart from the other agents in your marketplace? What's the public going to say?
Are you asking agents or customers?
It's a
different answer.
It is a different answer. You know what? You're right, and it should be a different answer. I'd be surprised if it was the same answer. Actually, if it was the same answer, it wouldn't be a good answer. So, what's the public say about you?
That we run an honest company and do a hard, good job for customers. Okay.
Anyone else have a perspective on what the general public thinks about them versus others? Okay.
I just got 3 really nice letters.
Okay.
After I did jobs, there was one that came in that I had sold his really unique, very inexpensive house and got him a really awesome house, and we did it within 45 days.
Wow. Excellent. So, when I'm asking this question, okay, what really sets you apart is going to be your vision. And your vision can be grand to sell 1,000 units a year. Okay? Your vision could be to build schools in Haiti. Your vision could be to drill wells in Africa for tribes that don't have clean water. Your vision can be a number of things. All right? Your vision is what's going to set you apart. Vision doesn't have to be business. It has to be relatable. You have to be able to tell people what it is. And this is going to lead us to our last one. And Dave, I don't even know how much of this story you've heard. So
I'm going to listen.
You're going to listen. You're not going anywhere. We've all heard what's your big why, right? Okay. So I will tell you, if you can't articulate your big why, it's okay. As long as you're searching for it. All right? This is where I get misty. So, people who know me well know I'm an avid Rotarian. I've been in Rotary now for 18 years. President of 2 clubs. I'm currently the assistant governor down in Naples. In 2008, when I was president of the Noon Club in Bonita, I went on a trip to Belize, and we delivered 300 wheelchairs in Belize. All right. It wasn't seeing people mobile for the first time that left a mark on me. It wasn't seeing my son help people into a chair that left a mark on me. What left a mark was 5 kids, perfectly healthy young kids, coming to Belize City to say thank you to a bunch of Rotarians from the United States that they never met. All 5 of these kids have been through a program called Gift of Life. They were all born with a hole in their heart, congenital heart defect. Now, this program, Gift of Life, is a Rotary-sponsored program where we bring kids into the States, completely at no cost to them, do the surgery. They live with a Rotarian family for a month while they're going through the surgery, and then they go back to the country. So, fast forward to 2013. I am newly divorced, #1 salesperson at the newspaper, and I look back at this time and said, I really want to do something. I want to sponsor a couple kids. So I came up with a goal, came up with a plan. I wanted to raise $15,000, bring 3 kids into the States, be able to do the surgeries. And I was going to do it by going for a bike ride, get some sponsors. So I started talking about it, and it kind of took on a life of its own. In October of 2013, Rob Railman, who is the director of Gift of Life International, shows up at my front door. He lives on Long Island in New York. I live in Bonita Springs. It's not exactly a trip around the block, okay? He says, so I hear you want to do something for Gift of Life. I said, absolutely. I want to raise $15,000 for so we can sponsor 3 kids. He says, well, how are you doing? So I got some sponsors for this bike ride. I got some vacation time built up, so I want to go for a really long bike ride. And he said, well, tell me about it. I said, well, I'm from Boston, so I wanted to start in Boston. So it was a really cool place to ride to. Immediately, I thought of Las Vegas because I figured Las Vegas is a really great party town. And then I realized that the Continental Divide is between me and there. And that's 14,000 feet of climbing I did not want to deal with, especially riding in Florida. You just don't have that option. Then I thought New Orleans would be a good place to end. And I realized New Orleans, I'd be taking my life into my own hands. I said, you know what? Key West is a good place to go. So we decided the ride was going to be from Boston to Key West. I'd take 6 weeks to do it. And he says, that's pretty cool. Can you do better? This all ties into goals. I said, sure. What are you thinking? He says, well, we want to raise $50,000 to build a surgical suite in El Salvador, in Benjamin Bloom Hospital. I said, okay, no problem. We'll raise 50 grand. Not even thinking about it. And he says, well, to do that, you're going to need, 6 weeks doesn't seem pretty spectacular. He says, how about you do it in 2? Sure, no problem. Somebody get a calculator out and divide 2,150 by 14 and tell me how many miles a day that is.
By 14?
153.
Thank you.
0.5 miles
Yep.
a day.
So I blindly commit to this.
It's all downhill, right?
Well, that's what I said. I looked at the globe. Boston is higher than Key West. I said, it's a downhill ride. This should be a piece of cake.
You ride that part of the Tour de France every day.
Well, the Tour de France does 2,100 miles in 3 weeks in a pack. I did it in 2 alone.
Oh.
Here's where it gets interesting. Got a phone call from a friend of mine. He says, I want you to meet somebody. The guy's name is Brian Walton. Brian's 14-time Canadian national champion, silver medalist in 1996 Olympics on the bicycle. He says, I want to coach you. I said, I can do this. He says, well, no, you can't. He says, tell me what you're doing now. I said, I'm riding 100 miles a week right now. This is October, November. He says, yeah, no, you probably aren't going to be able to do this, but I want to coach you. I said, okay. So he starts coaching me. Local businesses catch on. Other Rotary clubs catch on. Brian had me riding 80 miles a day before work.
Jeez.
Come home at lunch, ride 20 miles. Come home at the end of the day, ride 60. I rode more miles in the month of April of 2014 than all but 10 cyclists of any level in the United States and all but 50 in the world.
Wow.
Turn my card over, look at the picture on the back, please. There's a very specific reason I did not pass my cards out tonight for referrals. I passed them out for that picture. That picture was taken at Wiggins Pass in Naples, Florida in January of 2014.
It's a pretty cool picture.
Thank you, it's the best picture I ever took. We had a young lady on the boat with us, her name's Anna. Anna was from Belize, and she was in town to get a surgery done on her heart. 15 years old. Her skin was gray, pale gray, because her heart, she had weeks left before she was no longer going to be here. She had never seen an escalator before, a cell phone, or an airplane. To give you an idea how remote she was. She was on the boat when I took that picture. Completed the ride in 14 days with the support of Rotary clubs and major corporations all across the country. We raised $250,000.
Wow.
I'm going, because if I keep going, I'm going to start really crying. When you have a big why, there is nothing that will stop you. All I did is ride a bike. The leverage lesson in here. The Hyatt learned about it. They put me and my support wagon up in the Hyatt. Every single town on the way down. My fiance, now wife, bought into it. And she said, I'm going to organize everywhere you need to go. I'm going to map everything out. You don't have time for any of this. All you have time to do is ride.
Wow.
My kids, who were 17 at the time, bought into it. Said, Dad, this is great. Take the time off. We can drive. We can get ourselves back and forth to school. So the point of knowing your business mission, the point of knowing your MVVP, the point of having a big why, is you can do whatever dream is put in your head if you have the right vision.
Amen.
With
Wow,
that,
man.
any ahas? Any aha? By the way, some fun stats, because numbers. I'm sure you like numbers too. So I burned enough calories to eat 75,000 pancakes on the way down. That's not an exaggeration. That's a real number because I've calculated it all. The calorie burn each day was the equivalent of running a marathon every day for 14 days. I would, in training, I was completely vegan because when you're working out that hard, your body can't process anything complex. So it was fruits and rice and lettuce, some vegetables, that's it. On the way down, I was, screw it. Give me a pizza, 22-inch pizza, 2-liter bottles of the highest sugar Pepsi I could get, and I still lost 20 pounds on the way down.
Wow.
It didn't matter what everyone talks about the Michael Phelps diet, 10,000 calories a day, 12,000 calories a day. That's what I was doing. I could not fuel myself. And then I stopped riding, and I continued to fuel myself. So,
and here we are today.
I got my 45 pounds back. When I started the ride in Boston, I was 187 pounds. When I finished, I was about 165.
Wow.
So,
You still have the bike?
What's that?
You still have the bike?
I still have the bike. And since I moved into a safer neighborhood, even though I have panthers and bears, there's less cars. So next week, actually it's funny, my office started the 66-day challenge beginning this coming Monday, and my commitment is to get back out for an hour every day before I go to work on the bike. I miss it. There is nothing like being outside on a bicycle. It is the most amazing thing on the planet. So,
I used to do that.
any ahas from tonight?
I, in 2009, broke 3 fingers and had surgery. And I was told by the doctor that I would never write, and I'm left-handed. And it took a lot of encouragement, and I came to these guys in October 2010, and it flipped my life 100 to 10%. And I can now write.
Excellent.
And it's a huge change.
I on that note, like the big why, and John said something about don't worry about it, you'll figure it out. Some of the highest, I've listened to, and Norm, you might have heard some of these stories before, creating your big why. Some of the highest producing agents are still searching for their big why.
Yep.
And it can change, and sometimes it can take years to figure it out. It's not some people have the talent. I've done this exercise. Some people have had the talent and go, yep, I know what my big why is.
I don't have a big one, but I come and
You do? I'm still searching. I think I'm still searching for mine.
Like I said, that was my why at the time. I don't have anything right now that I can laser focus on that succinctly. Which is a problem for me because I need that.
I just wanted to say, going to your big why and whatnot, about 5 years ago, I guess, I joined the auxiliary of the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. And the reason I joined was because my son is in the military, my husband's military. But
Thank you for that. Thank them both, please. Thank you.
I joined because of the cause of what the auxiliary did for the veterans. So every year we, during Christmas time, we make our packages and we send them overseas to the different areas, to the veterans and to the people that are in Iraq or wherever they are. And so throughout the whole year, we always make up different things, different functions to raise money for that particular, So, and since I became the senior vice, I'm in charge of all the decorations and things like that, and gathering all the functions that we're supposed to do. So, and it brings a lot of those people in. A lot of the veterans would feed them for nothing because they don't have the money. And some of them bring their children or grandchildren that they can't afford a Christmas gift, and we do a big Christmas party for them and give them gifts and things like that. To me, it's given to the people that don't have a lot of things, I may not have it all, but I still give to the underdog, I should say.
Excellent.
I have 2. I think a practical one, actually, I really love the idea of sending the digital files at an open house rather than having the paper. When I ran out at my last open house, and then the next one after that I printed too many for, so I like the idea of just being able to just send it, immediately get that information. Right. It's perfect. And then overall, I think like a lot of this stuff is things that we know, but we need the refresher constantly that we need to be doing these things,
The guidance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. You said if you hit 7th level and you're keeping $1 million, this class isn't for you.
Right.
Other than that, there's absolutely something in here that everyone can take away and say, you know what, I got something of value from that. So, Matt.
My big aha was I'm the average of the 5 closest people in my life. I'm certainly different than I was. I just said this, I think, earlier today to Jake. Certainly different.
Just so you know, he's not part of that 5. So
no, about it.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it. You got my back there.
No, but I was mentioning that I'm different today than I was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and the people that are the 5 closest, and I'm kind of like you, I might have 3. My inner circle and the company that I keep is changing because I'm changing, and something I have learned at Mega Camp is, surround yourself with people that I've learned from, people that might be at a different level than you, above and below, so you can
Yep.
get something concrete and a learning experience from both of those. And the goal is to just kind of go different places. So that was my big aha, the inner circle.
Excellent, thank you. Guys, thanks for having me out.
Yeah.